Somebody asked me, what do you think my son should do? He's tired of his job. Well, you know, start methodically, little by little. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. So start methodically, little by little, getting involved in a different activity. I'm saying figure out an edge, an angle that you can have on the competition.
Alright, so we're going to our favorite chicken place, and we get a couple of rotisserie chickens over here, and they put in a lot of other things like jalapenos, and they give us some tortillas, and so we just make a meal out of it. They're really good chickens. Hey, amigo. Are you amigo?
Everybody's amigos in Mexico. A day in Mexico, what's it like? Well, okay, yeah, because you spend a day in Ecuador, you spend a day in Mexico and Panama, you know, it's going to be somewhat different, so let's do it. We really enjoy spending a couple of hours at the beach. It's interesting because when we used to go to the beach in Ecuador, we seem to spend, have you noticed that we spend more time at the beach here or not? I think we used to walk over at Punta Carnero Beach. We used to lay.
We used to go to the beach all the time when we lived in Salinas, honey.
We used to lay on the beach in Salinas, yeah, we did.
But you forgot your fishing pole.
I would be fishing, but that water is so freezing, but I would love to be fishing. Well, there's a guy enjoying it. Do you feel any humidity here? I don't recall. No. I think Salinas was the same way. It was dry in Salinas.
I think there was more humid than that. I don't feel it.
Yeah, I don't feel it, which is kind of nice. I know the first couple times we went to Mexico in the 80s, it was that's one of the things that really struck us was the humidity, which, by the way, the very first time we went to Panama City was the same way. I mean, you get off the plane, it just hits you. It's just like this, you know, it's like the earth got surrounded by that water barrier once again. And it took a couple of months to get used to it over there in Panama. I know I kept feeling it every time we went, and then after about several times I started getting somewhat used to it. So it is possible to get used to it. But the whole time that you're not used to it yet, I mean, it's... Well, you know, now you know there's different kinds of hamster wheels. I mean, some people find ways to enjoy a hamster wheel, you know, just go back and forth, and it's a game, it's fun.
Well, we just walked back and forth on the beach before we started making our videos today.
Yeah, right. A day in Mexico, what's it like? Somebody asked me, what do you think my son should do? He's tired of his job. Well, you know, start methodically, little by little. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. So start methodically, little by little, getting involved in a different activity that has nothing to do with your job. You may say, well, he works 10 hours a day, he doesn't have time. Uh-oh, that's tough. But it's not insurmountable. There's a certain spot where you have to make that sacrifice, and you've got to put that extra hour. You know, that one extra hour, even 1 extra hour or 2 hours in the evening. It might be very, very complicated and difficult to do. But there's more to it than that. There's other things that people can do. For example, no matter how many hours people work, right? They still do things like, well, you have to have transportation, so you buy a vehicle, right? Well, just to use that as an example, not that I like talking specifically about vehicles all the time, but it's something everybody does, or a lot of people, most people do, especially in America. Just about everybody, that's the way people commute and travel, rather. And so you don't have to buy a car that puts you into debt, you know. So you buy a car. No matter how many hours a day a person has to work, they still have to spend the time looking for a car. Well, it could be that they don't do that. Well, I think they still spend time looking for a car, even if they go to a dealership and get into debt. Instead, you spend time looking for a car that you can buy for cash, and maybe it involves buying a car that isn't brand spanking new, rolling right off the top of the lot and losing 10, 20, 30% of its value. Some of it the minute you roll out of the lot, and some of it within a year. You know, those little things like that, people, maybe they just don't give enough weight to them, that you can start doing. And so the angle to the car is this. You know, in America, it's all about money competition, and everybody's looking for the same thing. Lots of people there, over 300 million people. And so what you got to figure out is, where is there less competition? Well, other people in the same boat as you are, they don't have any time either. They work too many hours and stuff. They don't have time. They do the same thing. They want to go buy a car that's in perfect condition, and so they can just buy it and not think about it. So if you start focusing on an area where there's not as much competition, then you'll have more success. That means you'll want to get something that you feel pretty confident that you can, you know, maybe say that the car needs a little cosmetic work. You feel confident that you can clean. I used to buy my wife couches every few months. She enjoyed what do you call that, hon? Resetting the house, the living room?
Redecorating.
Redecorating, right. She used to redecorate every few months, and I said, I would call her over and I said, all right, which one of these couches do you want? And what my angle was that I knew how to professionally clean them. And so I had, my edge was that I was able to buy them in a condition that they needed to be cleaned and such. And so I was able to get rock bottom prices, and then I would just clean them because I knew how to do it. And then because of that, it never cost me any money. In other words, I could buy couches as often as I wanted because I got them so low I could blow them out anyway for the same price or a little more than I paid for them. So I could do that every day. And so that gave my wife pleasure because she loved redecorating, and she got to have a different couch every few months, and she just loved it. And so that was our edge, our angle. So I'm saying, figure out an edge, an angle that you can have on the competition, and start doing things that you normally do without thinking, out of habit, and start doing it with an edge. And you will find yourself, as Henry David Thoreau said, that if you slowly start moving in the direction of your dreams, you will find yourself in an uncommon situation. All right, hope you enjoyed that. Hope you got something out of it. Have a wonderful day.